Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you all had a fantastic week. If you are new here, hi there, my name is JoJo. On this channel, I share with you our family's journey through budgeting with the goal of attaining financial freedom. On this channel, I post videos like weekly check-ins, budget videos, debt and net worth, basically how we have been working our way through learning how to budget because we are new to budgeting. We started in February of 2020 and have been sharing our journey, good and bad, with you all on this channel. If that's something you're interested in following along with, then please consider subscribing. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my week 4 check-in for paycheck number 2. We're closing out March. And I did week 3 last week. I'll leave a link to that video and information card up here if you want to check out how we came to these numbers. But we're going to be moving down here. These are for our variable expenses. My husband and I get paid bi-weekly, and we are paycheck by paycheck, zero-based, cashless budgeters. So each paycheck covers 2 weeks worth of variable expenses, and this is just how I track our variable expenses week to week before I close out the budget. This is going to be for paycheck 2, as I had mentioned, and then the dates of the transactions we're looking at will be from April 1st until the 7th, and this is for week 4. For groceries, let's see. That's on this page. What I like to do is come find the last grocery purchase that I had made, and I think for this paycheck I budgeted a little more for groceries. So when I fill this transaction log out, I keep a running tally of how much money is remaining within that category, and it just makes when I come to do my weekly check-in, it makes it a lot easier, a lot less numbers for me to type into the calculator, a lot less opportunity for me to make a mistake. And what I do is use this remaining column. So for this week, I budgeted $450 to last us 2 weeks for groceries. We are a family of 5. I normally budget $400, but my husband's birthday was for this paycheck and he wanted a nice steak dinner, and then we also got him a birthday cake. So I bumped up our 2-week grocery allowance to $450. I bumped it up by $50. And over here in this remaining, this positive to me means that we still had $28.87 remaining within that budget, or money to spend. If it's negative, like it is here, that means we were over budget. But since we were under budget, I'll take that and subtract it from the total amount that I'd budgeted, the $450. And that tells me how much we spent in 2 weeks. And you guys will see that number plugged into the paycheck budget sheet. But since I want to see how much we spent this week, what I will do is subtract the amount that was spent last week. And that was $317.10. So that tells me this week we spent $104.03, and we were again under budget by $28.87. Next is eating out and entertainment, and we really didn't spend a lot within this category. We only spent $21.98, which I am glad about that. We still were under budget by $10.01 because I thought we were going to bust that budget. Household and pets. This was mostly, we've been updating our bearded dragon and our Oscars enclosures. So most of the updates have been happening through aquarium purchases through Facebook Marketplace, but then we also bought some decorative things and stuff like that. But that came to $43.29. Gas was not so bad this week, but I know we're gonna bust the budget like way out of the water for next paycheck because my kids, again, as I had said, have started sports, and then my workout classes have also changed. So my schedule of when I go to the grocery store had ended up changing, which I fill up gas at Costco after I stop at Costco once a week. So I was running on fumes today, you guys, to get to Costco to fill up for gas. So I filled up later this week. It didn't make it onto this weekly check-in. So next week, you guys are gonna see a lot of gas purchases. And plus gas is just ridiculous, running kids back and forth to practices. I'm gonna have to bite the bullet on my next paycheck budget and just increase this. I know I am. I've been trying to avoid it, and the universe is telling me you need to be realistic. But we spent $100.15. We were still over budget, but not nearly as much as we probably would be. My husband and I, we've both been doing really well with our spending. He had spent $37.81, and he had been under budget by $26.19. But what I do with any money that we don't spend for our paycheck allowance, that gets rolled into a sinking fund. So this is actually going to be zeroed out. His is called Dad Bod. Mine is called My Face. My kids have a clothing sinking fund. My husband and I don't have a clothing sinking fund or beauty or hobbies or a sinking fund. It's all housed within our Dad Bod and My Face sinking fund, any of those sort of purchases. So that's how we've handled that. For me, I had spent $34.83, and I had $33.39 remaining to roll into my sinking fund. My oldest, he did not spend anything, and he has $11.04 remaining. My daughter, she had done really well in school. So we had let her kind of splurge, go a little over budget, and that was for $2.95. She bought a peacock on Roblox. She was super excited about it, but so that was her reward for doing so well at school that week. My youngest did not spend anything, so he still had $16 remaining from the $20 that we budgeted for him. And unbudgeted, we've been holding strong, no unbudgeted. Knock on wood. And totals, what we had spent was $356, and can't tell if that is, oh my gosh, you guys, I can't even read my own handwriting. Hang on just a second. Let me double check my math. Okay, so I've double checked my math. Let me just show you guys. This is probably breaking a cardinal rule, but this is my cheat sheet here. And I couldn't tell if that was a 0 or an 8, but it's a 0. But we spent $356.07, and we overall, even with zeroing out my husband and my spending, we were under budget by $41.48. So excited about that. Okay, that takes care of our variable expenses, or all of the yellow boxes. Now we'll move over to the paycheck budget sheet and finish reconciling the rest of our transactions. Right, here we are at the paycheck budget sheet. As I had mentioned, my husband and I are paycheck by paycheck, zero-based budgeters, and this is paycheck number 2. The sheets that I use on this channel are all ones that I have created myself. It was just kind of pieces of knowledge nuggets that I had taken from watching other YouTubers and morphing it into a system that would work well for me. We are kind of unconventional in the sense that we are cashless. You don't see a lot of cashless YouTube budgeters. And then we also use a velocity banking system, which I don't think any of the budget videos I've seen show anyone working a velocity banking system. But really, these sheets I feel like could be helpful whether you're cashless or you do use cash, because most people with their cash is their variable expenses. So once you have that budgeted, this money would just go into an envelope. But for me, tracking it here on my weekly check-in sheet, it's more so like this amount right here. This isn't money that's left over in an envelope in cold hard cash. It's just money that I've accounted for, expenses that I know I can pay off that credit card bill. I have a travel card and a Kohl's card and a Costco card. I would say 90% of our expenses, bills included, It's probably closer to 80 if you include bills, are on that travel card. And then my husband, he does not do well with credit cards, so he uses a debit card. But when I go to fill out the transaction log, I just look at those different accounts. It's really quick, easy. Plug in the numbers on this transaction log and the categories. And then I know that our income can cover those expenses and pay off that credit card bill every month. It's set on auto pay. I have not paid interest on a credit card since I was in college, and I think that was my Victoria's Secret card. I feel like every college girl has paid interest on a Victoria's Secret credit card. Okay, so moving on, I'm jabbering on here, but we're gonna start up here with income. Our main paychecks, our 401k paychecks, W-2 paychecks, those came through last week, and we had our rollover that we already accounted for. So this week is just looking at extra income. And we have a little mini side hustle with dubia cockroaches. We own a bearded dragon, as I had mentioned, and we kind of inherited this dubia cockroach colony. It's worked out great. If you own an exotic pet that eats bugs, then you're probably have been aware of the cricket shortage. So our cockroaches have been pretty popular. This is just through friends at my work or people in our neighborhood. And we offer a really, really good deal on our cockroaches. It's more of just a friendly gesture, and we get a little, they get something out of it, we get a little something out of it sort of situation. But we made $18 this week from that. And then we had a surprise of $1,400 from the IRS. This is not tax return money. So our total extra was $1,418. And that's going to be written in, whoops, I grabbed the wrong pen color. I need my blue, my dark blue pen. There it is. Okay. So, extra is $1,418. And then I will just cross these two off. Now we can add all of our income. And we have the 30, 54, 46 plus 10, 86 plus 17, 05, 34 plus 14, 18. Okay, so our total income for paycheck 2 is $72.63.80. Next, we'll move over to bills. Those are the pink boxes. And what we ended up doing with that extra income was split some of it up to our investments or our Roth IRA. So $700 went to that. And then the other $718 went to our extra debt payment. Oh, whoops, that's supposed to be written over here. There we go, because I was not expecting that at all. It has been a very pleasant actuality. Next is our security system. That was $9.99 as expected. Okay, that takes care of everything on there. And then we had the gym was $75, mortgage $14.14.22, daycare $174, and we didn't owe anything for HP Inc. I stayed within my quota for that month, so that was awesome. When you add all of these together, that totals $5,293.20. And we are over budget only because of this extra money that went towards debt and investing, which I am completely okay with that. We were with our standard bills, had things gone completely as expected, we did end up going over budget in giving, but we would have been under budget when everything came out in the wash because of this $5 never happened. So we would have been $3 under budget technically. Next is plugging in our 2 weeks worth of variable expenses. We were under budget in groceries. We spent $421.13. We were under budget in eating out and entertainment. We spent $89.99. We were able to pull it together there. And we were under budget in household. That's why I love these weekly check-ins, you guys, because you can see like we had done some crazy spending in some of these categories, and just seeing that and how much we had remaining, we were really able to wrangle it all in and salvage our budget. Next for gas, unfortunately that one we just don't have a lot of control over, at least with the lifestyle that we are choosing to live with, carting kids around and things like that. Next, my husband and I were going to just do both of these in even 80 because again that money's going to our sinking funds, and my oldest had only spent $8.96. My daughter, she is technically over budget by $22.95. My youngest had only spent $4, and unbudgeted we did not have anything. Overall, we had spent $1,003.52 with variable expenses. Now what we'll do is come down to our sinking funds table and reconcile any sinking fund transactions. So those are the blue boxes. Make sure you guys are nice and lined up here. The first one, we had a couple of purchases. This was some shoes for my daughter, and then this was T-ball stuff. They needed socks, pants, belts, that sort of thing. So that came to $40.60. And clothes total, what we had spent was $73.07. Next is, let me see, gifts. For gifts, we had spent $71.74. And then we'll check that one off. Home maintenance. This is, my husband was hanging a barn door in our laundry room, so he needed some stain, and then also some yard stuff from Home Depot. And we had another purchase for, I think it was, where did I put that at? Oh, there it is. I accidentally, this one looks green to me, but it's like an income, but it's actually a sinking fund. So I did end up having to pull some money from home maintenance to cover a tank. So I'm going to put deposit money back into the home maintenance fund and the pet sinking fund once my husband sells our old fish tank, but he'd had to take out some money to buy the new one, but he's going to be selling our old one today actually. So that money will be deposited back into those accounts, but I just wanted to make sure that I stayed on top of it. But overall, what we spent from home maintenance was $201.99. And then we also had our HOA had come out. That was for $114, and that's quarterly. Next was pets. And, oh, did I not have them on here? Okay, so pets. Normally I try to write these in before I film the video just to help myself out, because otherwise I forget these things. But thank goodness for my check boxes. You guys, I am definitely one of those ladies that goes into the grocery store with a list. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now we're gonna have to squeeze in. I'm gonna do dad bod and my face And these are not going to have parentheses. Parentheses means subtraction, but we are going to be able to add. For my husband, it will be $26.19, and for me, it will be $33.39. Okay, so everything has been reconciled as far as money flowing in, money flowing out. Now comes the fun part, you guys. We, as I had mentioned, are zero-based budgeters, and how we handle that is everything from paycheck 1 gets rolled into paycheck 2. It kind of serves as this buffer if a catastrophe were to happen in between paycheck 1 and paycheck 2. So that money just kind of sits there and builds. But once we are at the end of paycheck 2 or closing out the end of the month, whatever money is left over after all bills and expenses have gone through, that gets thrown at debt. That is our cash flow. And any extra money that we make, that gets thrown at debt, regardless if it's in paycheck 1 or paycheck 2. I'm just talking like our expected W-2 income that counts as cash flow. So now what we get to do is figure out what our cash flow is. How much are we able to throw at debt? So we're going to do 7263.80 minus 5293.20 minus 1003.52. Is that for real? Oh my gosh, really? Let me double check. Okay. 293. I can't believe that. Let me double check, you guys, because this is kind of freaking me out. I thought we were going to have like $50 extra or something, but we were under budget last paycheck, like our rollover for paycheck 1. So this was more, but was it really? Okay, let me write this down real quick. And let me see what the difference is, because that's a lot. 18, so it's a difference of $398.90. Okay. Let me just crunch some numbers here and see, because that doesn't seem like that's that much of a difference. 1705.34 minus 1621. 38. Okay, that was by $100. Oh, you know why? Okay, there was some extra hours on here. I had forgot about that. So yeah, like through these little bits and pieces of extra money, being under budget, some extra income, we were doing great on paycheck 1. Holy smokes, you guys. So $398.90 is what we're as extra, more than that we were able to pull it together. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and write this down. Okay, sorry about that. You guys had to watch me kind of have this existential moment. But okay, so $967.08 is what we're able to throw at debt from our cash flow. So we also have some extra money. Now I had a question the last time I did this. I think it kind of gets confusing when we're using cash flow plus extra debt money from extra income within the same paycheck. It's usually during paycheck 2, because that's when both of these scenarios can happen. But it can look like we're kind of double dipping on our debt. But since I account for the extra income up here, and then it kind of zeroes it out down here, this is just a reflection of these numbers. So this extra income is reflected right here. I hope that makes sense. Now what we get to do is figure out how much we are throwing at debt. So we have the $967.08 and the $718. Whoo, that is so awesome, you guys. Okay, so we are throwing $1,685.08 at debt. Okay, I'm going to just do some little backwards math here. Okay. Wow, we are at $35,990.79 for my student loan. We do velocity banking, so this HELOC is actually my last amount of student loan debt. And then we have what's left. We have one cell phone and a Gizmo watch. So overall, all debt owed aside from our mortgage is $36,240.75. That is awesome, you guys. I am so excited. If you have stuck around with me for this long, watching this video and listen to me blabbering on. Sorry, y'all, I've had a few cups of coffee today, so I am running on all cylinders. Let's see. So that's it. That is closing out March. It was a fantastic month for us. I'm excited. We're now in April. To see how April treats us. We're hoping to have our taxes filed this month. My husband and I, we're going to be using our tax refund to actually do some home maintenance projects, and then whatever money's left over after those projects are done is going to be thrown at debt or invested or something like that. I honestly don't know quite yet what we're going to be doing with our taxes 100%, but you guys will of course see that because it's a full disclosure here, as you can see, even with me fumbling through stuff. But anyways, that is what this month looked like for us, closing out the paycheck, what we're ending with for debt. Thank you all so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I'm going to be posting my debt and net worth assessment video tomorrow. I am so excited to share with you guys our progress there. So stay tuned for that. Bye, everybody.